I had the carburetors off the bike again. Turns out when I let the fuel go, I saw that there was excess fuel coming out of the overflow tubes over here draining out of the bike, and one of the carburetors was actually like leaking out of the side of the float bowls, like around the sides. So I think I need to investigate what was going on and raise the floats, because originally these were set to the Honda service manual spec of 18.5 millimeters. So I looked online and a lot of people were talking about raising it up to around 20 to 21 millimeters and seeing how that goes. So we'll go ahead and check that out. You definitely want to have these carbs set kind of at an angle. I just have them resting like this. You don't want to have them upside down because these floats are going to be compressing the little spring on the float valves. And then what you're going to do is just kind of like lightly set the little tang on these floats onto the float valves so that they're just barely resting on it and not compressing it. And take our measurements there. Alright, so we got our carbs again, and I've got my digital caliper here set to around 21, and I'll use this pointy end here to measure the height of the floats. I've adjusted these a little bit, so now I'm just going to be double checking to make sure. Okay, we're roughly there. And then I'll be checking the other side as well. This one I might need to bring up just a little bit more. Yeah, I'm going to pop this one out and then press the tab in a little bit more. So I'll try to check. Because we want to be pushing this thing. So I'm going to be pressing down on this because we want these things to be raised up a little bit more. Alright, let's see what we did. Alright, so the goal was to make this kind of similar to this over here, so it looks like I'm just barely touching these guys. Just gonna twist this one a little bit. Cool. At this point, the carbs are good. What I want to do is check to see that these float valves actually shut off fuel when they're fully compressed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the bowls off, hook up fuel lines to the carbs, hook them up to the tank, and then release the petcock valve, and then just use my fingers to tap the valves closed and make sure that there's positive shut off. And then once I'm happy with that, I can go ahead and install the float bowls themselves. Right-hand side float bowl, and this is the one that was actually leaking out the side over here. And when I pulled this thing off and looked at the gasket, I did see that there was a tear in it. I'm not sure if you can tell here, but I'll try to get a closer look. Yeah, as you can see, this, oh, there we go. it was just barely hanging on. So this obviously needs to be replaced. Unfortunately, this is one of my nicer gaskets, which was in the kind of house shape. The closest equivalent to this that I have is the one from Common Motor, which is circular like this. So I was looking online for how best to stick this circular thing in this kind of shape over here, and basically I think it requires the use of some sort of grease, so I'll use that. Start off easy. We'll try to use this pre-shaped one to stick it in there. Probably going to be putting a little bit of grease on there to hold it in. Let's give it a shot. This one's going to be a little bit harder because we've got a circular gasket that we're trying to put into here. So once again, we'll add some, I'm going to add a little bit more grease to this one, I think.